This story is another story that tells me this beautiful combination that exists between misery and resilience that exists in people of Gaza. I was once in the operating room and they called me and said, drop everything and come to the ER right now, which is unusual for them. Usually, even when there are mass casualties, they stabilize things until I'm done, and then they tell me, and they tell them which one we're going to take to the operating room. They said, drop everything now and come to the ER right now. And I was like, subhanallah, like what's going on? We didn't hear any big explosions recently, so I don't know what's the big hurry. We went to the ER, and there was this mother. I don't know her age. I think she's my age or a little bit younger. When the explosion happened, her daughter was on her arm. When the heat came, not only it killed her infant daughter who was in her arm, it literally melted the infant on her arm. So her daughter has melted in her arm and became one piece of it. So the daughter is dead. The patient is still alive, semi-awake. She's kind of hallucinating, saying things and whatnot, but she's awake and alive. The daughter is dead, and she's fused with the mother arm. And there was this awkward silence where I knew what they were asking me to do, but I was hoping they wouldn't say it, because I was like, no way they're going to ask me to do this. So there was this awkward silence. They didn't want to say, the ER doctor didn't want to say anything. I kept quiet because I didn't want to even think about what they will ask me to do. And then eventually one of the nurses spoke up and said, doctor, we need to bury this infant. We cannot bury her because she's attached to the mother. And anyway, the arm is dead. Can you just amputate the arm so we can take the baby with the arm and bury them? And they did. So that was late in the evening. I went to my room. I tried to sleep. I couldn't sleep for the whole night because of the gruesome of what I just did, just amputating with the baby on it. The next day, I said to myself, at least I should have the basic manners of giving Gaza to this lady, to give condolences, because she was semi-awake. I didn't really get to talk to her. So at least I should have the basic manners of saying, Azzamallahu ajrakum, I'm sorry, I cut your arm. So I went, and the minute I walked in, it was obvious that she didn't sleep the night either. You can tell from her eyes, she was awake. You can tell her eyes are beefy red and whatnot. So I'm walking in, I'm kind of one step in, one step back. I don't want to do this, but I have to. So the minute I walked in, she looked at me and said, are you the doctor who cut my arm yesterday? And I kept quiet. And then she started raising her voice. Are you the doctor who cut my arm yesterday? And I'm struggling to speak, and said yes, expecting that she will break down on me. Just 1 second. Amina, معلش تطلعي بابا. Close the door. شكرا حبيبي. Sorry. Amina walked in. Okay. And she said, are you the doctor who did it? I said yes. And somehow she cracked a smile and she said, thank you, Jazakallah khairan. And I was in complete meltdown status. I was like, what did you just do? Did you just smile? Why are you smiling? Why are you saying thank you? She said, well, you don't know the story, and I think you should know the story to understand the big picture. I was like, please enlighten me. What's the big picture here? She said, this daughter, she's the last of my kids. She was the last one. Her name is Minnatullah, which translates of the gift of God, the gift of Allah. And she said, Minnatullah was a true gift of Allah in everything. From the minute she was born, she was the easiest child I gave birth to. She was easy in everything. Feeding her was so easy. Playing with her was so easy. Changing her was so easy. She was a true gift of God in everything. And subhanAllah, even now when she went down, when she was martyred, she was a gift of God. I said, how so? She said, think about it. She died, she's a martyr, but she took my arm with her.
Oh,
and now she's buried with my arm, and I'm hoping and I'm confident that when Allah resurrects her with my arm to take her to the Jannah, she will take my arm with her. And what better gift, what better minna or gift of Allah better than this, that I know that my arm already exists in heaven right now.
Incredible. Incredible.
Now, can you tell me that this lady is not suffering? She's not crying? She's not breaking? Of course she is. I can imagine she's grieving till now. I cannot imagine she's living normal life, even if there's a ceasefire tonight. I cannot imagine. I don't know a lady like this. How can you make it up for her? How can you rebuild her life? Seriously, like what amount of money, what amount of compensation, what amount of rebuilding of Gaza, what amount of rehab can you do for this lady to make her feel normal again? What? I say nothing. So is she suffering? Of course she's suffering. Is she grieving? I'm sure she is till today, if she's still alive. But subhanallah, again, back to the story of that brother who was crying in my shoulder for 20 minutes, but then went to the prayer. Same with this one. She was grieving badly. She was crying all night, but still somehow she saw the light or the barakah or the blessing that her hand exists in heaven as we speak.